Hey, what's going on, guys? I got a package! And I got a package with a pink slip of paper. You know what that means. Alright, so you know what that means. That means I just got back the September builds from Peters. We have one piece in Nitro V and heat treated to 61 HRC, and then 3 pieces of AEB-L at 61. Awesome. So both of them hit the mark at 61. So let's see what they look like. I just have the Quiet Carry Chase in my pocket today. I was at work and expecting some rain today, which never happened. Welcome to Florida. But I had that in the pocket today. So let's see what we got here. I almost forgot what I sent. So, all right. Wow, that was a lot of packing material in that box. All right, so we got this, of course, the Monster Saran Wrap from Peters as usual. I'm just gonna go full crazy into this one. I just don't care. Let's get this one off. Crud here. Because we got to get that off, and then they actually probably saran wrapped all of the blades together, of course. So they love saran wrap over at Peters Heat Treat. That is a lot of saran wrap. Let me get this undone. All right, guys, here they are. We got the Bloom Harpoon, which is in Nitro V. That one is our Nitro V, and these 3 are all in AEB-L. A Nut Gargoyle Harpoon, a Cardinal XL, and a Bud, which I haven't done one in quite some time. They all look pretty good. They didn't need any major straightening, so they all look pretty stinking good. So it's time. I need to get these nice and cleaned up and get them prepped for handles and the maker's mark, etc. So let's get this video going. All right, I got them all cleaned up, looking really good. So the Bloom Harpoon, the Bud, and the Cardinal are all going to be acid etched and tumbled. And the Gargoyle Harpoon, my brain's fried. I'm trying to remember all the names. This one is going to stay hand sanded finished. So that one looks good and ready for the maker's mark. So I have to put the maker's mark on all of these, and we need to start talking handle material. So I need to do the maker's mark on them and then start prepping handle material before I start acid etching. So let's talk handle material real quick. So let's start with the Bud. The Bud is getting the Admiral Blue Jute Micarta, which I absolutely love. But this person wanted a really, really thick handle. So I personally, this is my personal feelings, is I'm not a fan of a small fixed blade with a giant chunking handle. I would rather thin that out, but he wants a big chunky handle, so we're gonna give it to him. You got that on that side and this on this side. I'm gonna contour it and everything else, but that will end up being a pretty chunky handle. And you know, yes, I could take it to the grinder and rip up some belts and thin this out, but that's a ton of work. So that is getting the blue jute micarta, which I have plenty of. Then the Cardinal XL is getting this, and this is the fat carbon. This is the purple camo fat carbon. So this is the fat carbon purple camo with pinks and the purples. That one's going to look pretty stinking cool. Again, it's a nice thicker material, so that's going to be a excellent. The Gargoyle harpoon I'm kind of excited about because I'm gonna use this stuff, and this is a Raffier, and this is the curly brass composite yellow scales, golden yellow. So that is going to be pretty stinking cool. So this stuff has wire mesh. It has brass running through it. So these is going to be the bottom of the scale. This is going to be the top. So as I'm shaping it and contouring and everything, that's what gives it that look, is the brass wire mesh that's in there, and that's going to end up looking really, really cool on this one. And we're going to do brass pins and lanyard tube for that. It's going to end up looking really stinking cool. Which brings us to the last one, the Bloom harpoon. So the person who got the Bloom harpoon sent me this giant chunk of wood. And this is supposedly stabilized apatong. So I guess it's a Brazilian hardwood called apatong, possibly, is what I think he told me. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Basically, what I'm going to have to do is take this to my table saw and rip this down that long ways to get some wooden scales, because the handle on the Bloom XL is perfectly fit to that size. So the thickness of this wood is actually perfect for the Bloom harpoon. So if I just cut one piece along this edge that's about, you know, 1/4 inch thick, that should give me enough material to play with for that thing. Which, once I get the maker's mark put on these, that's going to be the first thing I'm going to try to do. Hopefully it works out. If not, I don't know what we're going to do. Alrighty, maker's marks applied. So we got the maker's marks on all of them, and now it's time to start cutting this material, but I need to get this first. So I have everything set up. The table saw is set up to the height of this piece of wood, and somehow I'm going to cut this and hopefully not lose a finger at the same time and to do this. So we're going to see if this wood, how stable it is, and if I'm going to be able to do it. I might just move the fence over just a bit and give myself a little bit more material than I normally would, and we'll go. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I don't think I'm gonna film this. Sorry guys. So we'll see how it goes. No drama. I like no drama. Didn't come out too bad. I don't know if this wood is actually stabilized though, because it does. I don't know if you could see this, but it does flex. So I don't know if that's stabilized or not, but if that person wants it, I'm going to try to move forward. This is still enough material that I can get the handles for. So the only way I'm really going to know is I start cutting it and start sanding it, and we'll see what it looks like. I guess so. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy. It worked out. So now we could just start cutting all this material up and moving on to the next step. Making good progress. We got all the handle material roughly cut out and the holes are drilled now. So we are looking pretty darn good with these 4. So the next step with these, what I need to do, let's see, I don't know what I want to do here. I really need to acid etch the Bloom Harpoon, the Cardinal XL, and the Gargoyle Harpoon. The Bud. These 3 need to be acid etched. So, but I still want to get the handles shaped fairly well. And then I kind of want to acid etch and do everything before we get to glue up. And as much as I would love to have been able to get to all of that today, unfortunately, I'm going to have to, I'm going to start roughly shaping, but I might have to save the acid etching and everything for a later date. That is a process that takes time, but this one, either way, I need to tape up this blade, and we can definitely start making some progress on that one. And then hopefully maybe later this week I can get back out here and get these to the point where they're ready to be glued up. Man, I just have other things going on this week that are going to be pulling me away. But this material ended up looking pretty darn good. We're going to see, guys. We're going to see what this is going to look like. I need to smooth out this side, but I'm going to use this as the outside. So this is all going to get shaped, and I definitely need to thin all that out. So I'm going to be sitting at the grinder for a little bit on that. But what I want to do is get them roughly shaped. I have marked them all where I think everything should be. So we're going to roughly shape them and then get going. I want to get that done today. So back on the grinder. Alright, I didn't get as far on these as I was hoping. I did get them roughly, or a little bit better shaped up. They're not too bad. What I need to do on these is angle the fronts and start hand sanding all the fronts off, and these will be almost ready for gluing up. But on this one, at least, I know I'm pretty close to doing that. It's going to be pretty stinking awesome. These 3, though, I need to start acid etching and tumbling and getting the final etch on these blades before we get to glue up. So like the Cardinal XL is very close to the size, so what I need to do is just do the fronts. You know, you guys know how I angle the fronts and smooth all those out, and then I'll come in and get that all ready for glue up. But I have to also, I need to acid etch and tumble all of these blades. For the, I know this is huge. So the Bloom XL, I gave myself a lot of extra material, but this material seems to be moving pretty fast. So I'm going to thin that out to that line. And then angle the fronts of these. So I have a ton of work left to do on these scales, and this one also. I am not a fan of the big thick handle. I think it's just gonna be way too big. That's just way too big. So I'm gonna try to thin that out as well a little bit, but I still need to angle the fronts and do everything. So I'm gonna try to maybe remove just a little bit of material. So this is just gonna be a lot of work. And I know the person that wants this wanted a really thick handled material, and maybe I'll just give it to them. But we're really roughly there as far as where I like to be for glue up. This is just a lot of material, so much thicker than I would normally do on such a small knife. But anyway, I need to prep these for heat treat. Basically, I clean them off really well with acetone, with a cloth, and make sure I get them nice and clean. Then they soak, and they do that. So maybe I can do that here, and then while they're soaking in the etchant, I can start doing the fronts and doing all of those. All right, guys, I am just gonna I'm cleaning these blades up just using this t-shirt rags that you can get and acetone. Just cleaning them up, just trying to get them prepped because we are going to start acid etching. I am going to acid etch these and get them starting to soak into that, and then I will start working on those handles a little bit more. I got to thin out the Admiral Blue jute micarta and the wood a little bit, so I need to thin those out and start shaping the fronts on all of them, like I said. So I'm going to do that, but I have my live stream today as well, so I need to I'm probably going to do that during the live, just because that's probably something to do. I try to think about what I'm going to do during the live stream. I don't like live streams where I'm bouncing back and forth a lot, and with acid etching I'm doing a lot of moving around and sitting around because I have to get these to soak real quick. They'll soak for about 30 minutes, then I have to take them out, wash them, do all the things. So this isn't what I want to do during the live stream because I'm moving around too much, and it's just not like enjoyable to watch. I'll go ahead and just clean this one too while we're here. This one is going to stay this finish, so I need to tape this one up so we can get this one ready for glue up, etc. So this is where we are, and I think, like I said, I'm going to thin that material out, and I'm going to thin this material out before the live stream. So then during the live stream, all I'm doing is rounding the fronts on all of these. So I think we're in a really good spot, guys. Doing well, making great progress, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. So I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to start acid etching these and tumbling them and doing all that before my live stream starts. So then maybe by the end of the live stream, I'm gluing all of these up. We will see. So when I catch you guys on the next video, maybe we'll be coming back from gluing all of these up. That would be amazing. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment or not. That choice is always yours.